Hey, God bless you guys. This is John Travieso. Today is day 1 after my back surgery, and I am feeling amazing. I'm taking my very first walk around my usual area where I used to go jogging and exercising and doing my usual routine. I'm very hopeful and very excited because I'm feeling great after surgery, back surgery. So today's day 1 of my first walk. For those of you who don't know, injured myself on my job helping someone. I was falling and I got 2 herniated discs in my lower back as a result of that. And it's been a struggle this past year. I really haven't posted or told anyone about what was going on, and just being hopeful. And you know what, there's sometimes that God allows you to go through certain things and certain experiences, and it doesn't mean that he's not with you. It just means that this is something that he wants you to go through for a different reason you may not understand. And one thing that I have seen is that he's been with me every single step of the way. This couple of years has been interesting for us because we've had a couple of big things happen to us. We had first our fire. We was out of our home for 10 months. We were living in a hotel for a month. Then we were in a rental house for another 9 or 10 months. While we were in the rental home, I got hurt at my job, also with a patient, and I got a hernia. And I had to go for hernia surgery. I was out of work for quite a number of months. And progressing after that, on my road to recovery from there, got hurt with another patient, and I got 2 herniated discs, which started out to be painful and slowly got worse. Numbness in my toes and my legs and other complications and stuff. But just kept pushing forward. But in that time of our injuries, we saw God's hand move and work in our lives like never ever before. We saw God's provision. When we lost the house, people were reaching out to us and helping us. And I won't even see the number of the dollar amount that people sent to us, because that's not important, but it was a very large amount, and people really helped out. And it was funny because when we were in a hotel, we were counting the envelopes and the monies that people were sending to us. I told my wife, I was like, you know, honey, do you think that the girl should see all this money? Because it was in the thousands of dollars. And my wife said, and I never forget this, and I agree with her totally. She was like, John, our daughters need to see how God is providing for us in the hardest time of our lives. And they need to see that even if you go through a difficulty, that God will never leave you. He'll never forsake you. And so as a family, we would count the money. As a family, we would go through it and we would pray and thank God that even though we were going through a rough time, God was still with us and he was still providing for us. So it was just a reminder that, you know, like there's a Bible verse that says, you may go through the fire, but you will not get burned. You'll go through the rivers and they shall not overtake you. And that's in Isaiah. And we were very encouraged by that. In spite of the difficulty, God never left us. And people came from every direction and helped us and looked out for us. You know, in the time moving after that, God provided a house, a rental house, where we could be able to call our home for a while, and a beautiful house, full house. And God kept doing things for us and with us. And then I got injured with a hernia. That included a pain and this and that and surgery that was required. Now with this injury with the back, you know, a lot of hardship with that. It's funny how, you know, things happen and some people kind of act crazy and say dumb things to try to discourage you, to try to call you an imposter, to try to call you, you know, hey, you know, you're faking and all this kind of stuff. And you know what? God allows things like that, people to come out of the woodworks also to share their negativity. But in comparison to you knowing the truth and us knowing the truth, it couldn't faze us because God was just being so good and his provision was being so amazing. And if I would have just focused on the couple of negative people and negative things that were going on in my life, I would have missed the greater things that God was doing in me and the greater lessons that he was teaching me, people that he was sending around us, and all these great things that were working in our favor. And in those 2.5 difficult years, we saw the greatest blessings over our life in so many other ways, and we saw the hand of God working in our favor, things that just could not be coincidences. And we would go to a restaurant just to like blow off some steam and just get out of the house for a while, and somehow, some way, there would be someone at the restaurant and just they would just say, you know what, we're paying for your meal. It's like, what? Another time we went to a different restaurant, totally different place, and the waiter tells us, oh, by the way, somebody paid your meal. It's like, wow. It's like, you know, we weren't looking for people to pay stuff for us, but God just showed himself faithful. So I just want to share this short message with you guys because, you know what, you may be going through a difficult time. You may be going through a rough time, and I want to say a couple of things to encourage you. Number one, don't give up. Number two, remember, God is with you. And there's a Bible verse in Proverbs that says to give everything over to the Lord and trust in him and not in your own understanding, and acknowledge him in all your ways and he will direct your paths. And it's just a reminder that, you know what, we're not as big as and as great as and as smart and as intelligent and autosufficient as we think we are. God is there for us and he's with us. And when we can just acknowledge that and just seek him in our difficulty, man, things just, the stress will roll away. The pain will just become so much easier and tolerable. And we'll see the hand of God just moving in our lives in so many different wonderful ways because he's just being faithful. You know, he's just being faithful. So I would also say is that just know that there's a purpose behind everything that you're going through. There's a reason. There's a struggle that you go through, and a couple of reasons. One is because God trusts what he has, his plans for you. It's going to work out. He knows what he's working, and he's not going to let you fall. He's not going to let you drop. That's one thing. So he knows what he's doing. Another thing, he's trying to build you up and bring you up and strengthen you. So there's a lesson and there's a growth in your struggle that he's trying to work in you. So be very encouraged that, you know, the difficulties are not there to destroy you. The difficulties are there to build you up. So I don't want you to lose hope when you're going through the struggle. God will not give you anything that he's not in control of, and all things work out for the good for those who love the Lord. You know, I want you to keep encouraged and keep faith, even when you just see darkness, even when you just see pain, even when everyone turns their back on you. Just know that God is the one. He's there for you. And if we are there for him and we honor him and we just acknowledge him and we humble ourselves to him, the experience becomes incredible. The experience just becomes so much better because we know that we're not alone. So I want to encourage you, no matter what kind of pain and difficulty you're going through, I want you to just keep pushing forward. Now, if you've been paying attention, I've done almost a mile already of walking away from my house. We're about to hit the 1 mile mark for a guy who just had surgery last night, not even 24 hours ago, on my back. And I'm not experiencing pain right now. I want to keep posting little videos like this just to keep you guys encouraged, no matter what kind of pain and discomfort and sickness or illness you may be going through. Maybe you have to face a surgery, maybe you have to face a breakup, maybe you have to face a heartache. Whatever difficulties coming in your life, I need you to breathe deep and trust God, because he's going to get you forward. So guys, God bless you. Keep moving forward. I'm not letting any of this discourage me or distract me. He's been way too good to me for me to not know that he's going to make things work out. So keep going forward. Keep your eyes on the Lord. Breathe deep, because he's with you. God bless you, and keep moving forward.